card to play, then you need to negotiate that beforehand and be very, very clear with your expectations.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
So when it comes to a decision making, because this is the other thing that we find in the tech space, that more of these lot of these software developers, you see, they work for companies that make a lot of money, right? And they start their own business, their own startup. But now they come into the startup as founder, as a major shareholder, and they saying things like, "Well, this is not my job. I only here write code. Your job is to sell." So you cannot talk like this. Is no a company, a job in a company. This is your business. Everything is your job. And then you go and
correct.
you find it in the startup world, C-level positions and the team, that they're telling you phrases that come that they're very normal and useful in corporate, but it doesn't apply to the earlier stage startup kind of environment. But this is what they learn. This is what they know. They don't know any better. It's not that they of course they don't want bad for the company, but they are used to a culture in corporate, which is completely different than the culture that they need to develop in an early stage startup world.
Yeah. Well, look, there has to be one voice in any organization. There has to be a decision maker, right? And you've seen and heard it time and time again. When there's been, two people at the top of the pyramid, it creates problems. Is the reality. But more importantly, is articulating why a decision is made. Right, so not necessarily this is the decision and off we go and that's it. Stick with it, right? That type of management style isn't effective anymore. We have to get really good as leaders and founders of articulating why a decision has been made, right? And articulating why it impacts them, whether it's tech or whether it's marketing or whichever department it might be, right? And relate that back to the mission and the value of the organization, and perhaps even more important than that, bring it back to the problem that you're solving, right? The decision is X, and we've made that decision because it solves the problem that we're eventually trying to solve faster, better, and more cohesively. That is the reason why we've made that decision, right? And in an ideal world, you would get those individuals to buy into that during the decision-making process and actually get them to make that decision for you, right? So you're not telling them what the decision is. Actually, they're coming to that decision themselves. And that's really where you start to get change.
Then the other thing, Oliver, is about what we call it the distribution of shares, because eventually these startup teams, right? They might need to bring a company, a coach, a mentor, a company that specializes in what you do, that need to lead them to scale up, and they're gonna start to listen things like that they don't like, that you want to take 80% of the budget to market the product, that you're going to do a lot of things that they don't like. This is not what they believe. They actually looking for funding to keep writing the software, to keep make as huge, as big as possible the MVP. And but then they hold in a majority of shares, that they have a decision making. And to be honest, they don't know how business works. They are not an entrepreneur. They just left the corporate job and they're trying to do an startup. And they hold in a majority of shares and taking decisions in things that, again, because they haven't practiced enough, because they haven't failed enough. Being an entrepreneur is a skill. The more you practice, the better you become. It's like driving a car or swimming. You don't learn in the book. That's why, very positively you shared at the beginning, fail fast, because what is behind those lines, and we want all the audience to understand, is that what Oliver is trying to articulate here is you need to develop the skill or become an entrepreneur. This is a skill. You need to practice. The more you practice, the better you become. So you have to fail and reiterate. So you develop the skill in the same way that when you
Mm.
drive in a car, when you drive a car at the beginning, you don't know that much. But if you practice enough, you will be able to. You are not allowed to do that, by the way. But you, some people even drive and speak on the phone, right? They have so much the skill. However, what everybody is missing is that if you have this driver mentor next to you, uh, you can get faster there. You can get saved there. You can save your life if you listen some tips that this person that is teaching you, that is being a support for you, getting you there for you to improve the skill. And this is what a coach is, what a mentor is in tech space. It's not somebody that is coming to tell you what to do. It's not going. However, what are the challenges, in the decision taking process when you bring let's see, a coach, a mentor, an accelerator, someone that literally specializes in this, and they are not ready for it. They definitely doesn't want to give you so much shares because they don't want you to have control because you want to do something that they're not even want to do, but it's
Yeah.
the only way that the company is going to move forward. So, and yet they think that they will have the control of the company forever without knowing that, hey, you only did the product. This is even 20% of the whole company. So a lot of 80% of the company is gonna come people that know about how to market this, how to scale this, and these people need to be compensated effectively with shares. And so you cannot keep a large amount of shares where the people that will drive the growth and the success of the business, they are bringing not only knowledge and expertise, they're bringing knowledge, expertise, resources, and funds, and they deserve to be compensated accordingly, and they deserve also to have some power, some consideration in the decision making process because they are the only ones at the moment that know how to grow a company. Actually, the rest of the team they've been employees before, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Look, it you have to do your research. Is the reality, right? And for people that haven't done, yeah, particularly for individuals that haven't worked in that manner and haven't worked at an early stage or a tech company in general, you have to go into decisions in a well-informed manner, right? And that means doing some research, and then link it back to what it is you're looking for, right? Link it back to what it is that you need to have, and if that's a seat at the table and a decision making a card to play, then you need to negotiate that beforehand and be very, very clear with your expectations. But there is the information out there, right? And people can do this type of research themselves, and I would urge them to do so.
So, if people want to know more, Oliver, about what you do, how can you help early stage founders to grow the company? I know that it's a very challenging job that you do. Is you have to take a lot on, and and it's really really difficult because when people are starting a tech company and they're thinking that the product is going to be perfect from the first time and they're going to become a multimillionaire really easy, and a VC is going to come and they're going to give them $2 million straight away to do X, Y, and Z, and it actually doesn't work that way. And
No,
unfortunately, it's you who need to go down and break it down for them and tell them check of reality, and nobody
that's
likes
it.
this. They might
No,
fire you because they don't want to hear anything that you want to say, which is actually the reality. They want to keep living in the bubble and spending money out of the bubble until they believe, and you coming with a reality check,
yeah,
and they don't like that. So I know that the job that you're doing is priceless because at the end of
yeah,
the day, you if you put them in the right framework, they actually have a chance to succeed, a chance
that's
in
it.
a very
That's it.
competitive. So tell us a little bit more about how the process works, how how tech founder can find you,
Yeah,
and a little bit more. Yeah,
cool.
how can you help them?
Yeah, thanks, Harry. So, look, we don't exist for everyone, is the
Absolutely.
reality. But if you're a founder or an executive and you want to scale smarter and grow faster,
Mm.
then that's exactly what we can help you do.
And if you're
Uh,
coachable, and if you're
coachable,
coachable,
coachable, absolutely flexible. All of those things. It's it takes a team, right? It takes a team because the reality is the numbers are against you. The numbers will say that your business will fail, right? And if it doesn't fail this year, it will probably fail next year. And what we do as an organization is limit the amount that happens and improve the percentage of you getting to success. And how we do that is we are ultra focused on the early stage, and we bring a host of executives with exactly that experience
wow,
into your experience and give give that advisory and mentor support, as well as all of the processes and platforms that you actually need to get there. So yeah, Loud Solutions. You can find us at loudsolutions.com. My name's Oliver Peters. You can find me on LinkedIn, which is where I spend most of my time. But if you're at an early stage and looking to grow, we've probably got a solution that can help you do that.
thank you so much, Oliver. And with that note, see you in now. Have been a pleasure, yeah,
Absolute
to
pleasure,
have you
Harry.
here,
Thanks
yeah.
for having me on.
I'm very excited about the topic because I know the pain that is out there, and it's a little bit frustrating because I'm trying to help those guys out there, and I'm like, guys, I'm begging you, focus in something else. You're gonna fail badly. This doesn't work, and but I'm glad that you are out there. Yes, because next time I know, next time, but I send them to you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's
So
us.
you see, so
Send them our way. They might not like what they hear, Harry, but we'll get them
I
outside of
know,
their
I
own
know, I
echo
know.
chamber.
So what can I do? You see, I'm telling. I decided that now I'm telling them the thing. They get upset with me. I say, okay, you know what? I'm gonna send in the podcast to say, okay, listen to all of it. You see, you think
Yeah,
that I'm talking nonsense? Well, listen to
yeah,
people that actually
that's it.
doing this every day, and you will see. But anyway, if the founder is willing to, I think, Oliver, to put the business before the ego and to really do something meaningful, I agree 100% that there will be a very good fit for what you do, guys. But again, if the mindset is not there, it's gonna be a challenge because
Yeah.
it's not easy. Yeah, and I always send this message from this broadcast because a lot of tech millionaires have been in this broadcast, loads of them, and I don't want that the people listening in the car them thinking, you know what, these hookers. I know that you can become millionaire in tech easy because you see, I'm listening Harry podcast and then a lot of them have done it. So I'm gonna start my tech company and I'm gonna make a million easy. Well, it doesn't really work that well. I'm sorry to break it down to you. I'm not gonna say that it's hard because we don't believe that anything is hard. We want to all the entrepreneurs to be healthy, happy and wealthy from this podcast. So, okay, I'm gonna a last question to you, Olivier. It is really hard to make to become a millionaire in a tech space, or there are few key principles that if you're humble enough to embrace them, it can get you really far, really fast. What is your opinion? Is it that hard become a millionaire in the tech space?
It's it's definitely hard, and anyone that tries to tell you that it's not is
They're trying to
either
sell you
lying.
something.
They're trying to sell you something.
They want to take your
It's
money.
Yeah, correct. It's absolutely hard and it's close to impossible, but it is doable, right? And there's principles that you can do and take on along the way, and um, innovating, improving, iterating is a really good start. Focus on the problem, right, and solve a problem and do a really good job building, maintaining, and growing your network. Because the reality is you can get there and you can do it, and you could do it alone, but it's going to take you a long time, and it's going to be very, very difficult. And the smartest people out there know that actually it takes a team and it takes a group to get to where you want to get to. So do a really good job building that network and making some friends along the way, because if you really want to get there, and if you really want to go through that painful journey of getting to a million in your own tech firm, you're probably going to need a good team around you.
Thank you so much. And with that note, see you in our next episode of Unstoppable, how brave entrepreneur like Oliver break that wall and achieve the first million. Bye for
Thanks,
now.
Harry. Good to see you.
Pleasure.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.